Maybe you from the 1970s, when the Los Angeles Rams was known as the Fearsome Foursome because of that defensive line. Or maybe you in the city of St. Louis, the gateway to the Midwest, where the greatest show on turf brought home the first ever Super Bowl championship. Or maybe you in the here and now, with the Rams back in LA, winners of Super Bowl 56. You can rock Eric Dickerson. You can rock Marshall Faulk, Isaiah Bruce, and Kurt Warner. Or maybe you rocking Cooper Cup, Aaron Donald, and Matthew Stafford. It doesn't matter, but when it comes to this, it's all about the Los Angeles Rams. Horns up, Rams South. Time to talk Rams football.
What's going on, Ramily? How y'all doing today on this Thursday, February 27, 2025? Woo! March is this weekend. March begins on Saturday. Oh man, it's gonna be some good time for me in sports. Free agency will be upon us a little in the mid-March, and a lot of stuff gonna be happening in the NFL. And then yes, the main conversation around the combine, which actually kicks off today with the defensive lineman, if I remember correctly, is that where is Matthew Stafford going? Are we hearing a lot of different stories? Nothing definitive. Okay, nothing that is 100% happening. So there's really no news on Matthew Stafford right now. But there have been stories out there that said Matthew Stafford was spotted hanging out with Tom Brady. And people who know what that means, that means Tom Brady, who is a minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. So it looks like the Raiders have thrown their name in the hat to try to get Matthew Stafford. We already know about the Giants in that situation, but nothing definitive, nothing 100% to report on what's going on. It's still the speculations and rumors at this moment in time. So we still waiting for the extra shoe to drop on Matthew Stafford. Where he be? Will he be in LA? Will he be in Vegas? Will he be in New York? We just don't know at the moment in time. Okay. The only news that I can report is that we have given permission to Jonah Jackson to seek a trade. If I remember reading it correctly, I think we can say about 8.5 of cap space if we trade him before a certain point. I ain't really fully dive into it because I had a lot going on, but that's the only thing I can report that I did see. So it's just it is what it is. Working at the combine and all type of stuff for the Rams. But Sean McVay is there in Indianapolis. No, Sean McVay is not there in Indianapolis. He's just saying it's a business decision. We're gonna let Matt Stafford gauge the market value, bring him back to the table, and most likely get something done. So I would love to have Matthew Stafford back as a Ram, but there seems like there is a contingency plan in place. I did see one report that says if Matthew Stafford is lead, that the Rams are comfortable with Jimmy G as the quarterback. I'm not. I do not want Jimmy Garoppolo as the starting quarterback for the Los Angeles Rams. I don't want that. Let me be very, very clear. You bring in Aaron Rodgers, that means you bring in Devontae Adams too, because Devontae Adams wants to come on to the West Coast. So bringing Devontae Adams along with Aaron Rodgers, I might be okay with that for a year or two. Especially bringing a guy like Devontae Adams into the receiving room. Would love that. Him and the Book and the Cool together. We'll see if we can keep DeMarcus Robinson or Tutu Atwell. But we do have Jordan Whittington that's on the contract. So, but yeah, just a lot of speculation and rumors going around right about now when it comes to the Rams and Matthew Stafford. Until something drops, that's what it's going to be. And then when it does drop, you will hear from me when it drops. I'll guarantee you that. But with that being said, let's continue our season review. We don't went through the first 5 weeks and we went to our bye week. We were 1-4 coming off our bye week. And then we had the following games upcoming from week 7 to 10. We had the Raiders, the Minnesota Vikings, the Seattle Seahawks, and the Miami Dolphins. Our Vikings game was on Thursday night. Our Dolphins game was on a Monday night. So 2 primetime games in this stretch that we had. But first, we had to come off a bye week, host the Las Vegas Raiders. We needed a much-needed win, and we got it. We got the much-needed win. We're going 2-4. We come out 2-4 on this game, 20-15. Was not the most pleasing game to watch for the Rams to win. We had Gardner Minshew turn the ball over 4 times. The Raiders turned the ball over 4 times. We turned it over once, and we can only put up 20 points, which means that was not a good offensive showcase for the Rams. The Raiders had 317 yards of total offense. The Rams had 259 total yards of offense. The Raiders controlled the ball for close to 7 minutes more than the Rams. Just not something that was pleasing to watch if you was a Ram fan. Let's keep it a buck. We won. Yes, we won, but it was not pleasing to watch whatsoever. Gardner Minshew threw 3 interceptions. And he fumbled too, by the way. 3 interceptions plus a fumble. That's your 4 turnovers. Matthew Stafford also turned the ball over. Both quarterbacks threw for 154 yards. Defense was on display in this game. Young defense too. Kerryon Williams had 2 rushing touchdowns on the day with 76 yards rushing. Remember, this is the stretch that we didn't have Puka Nacua or Cooper Kupp, so Ty Johnson was the leading receiver in this one. We got a much needed win, by the way. That's the thing that matters. We came out the bye week, we got a dub. We 2-4 now. We still got work to do to turn this season around if we can. Which brings us to Thursday night football. We had a short week. The Minnesota Vikings coming in, and at this moment in time, the Minnesota Vikings are one of the hottest teams in the NFL. At this moment in time, 5-1 on the season coming into this game. The only loss was to, I think, the Detroit Lions at the moment in time, and that was a very close game. And around this time, there was a possibility that we were going to trade Cooper Kupp after this game. That was the speculation and the rumors going into this game. And lo and behold, not only Cooper Kupp returned, Puka Nacua returned. Rams take it 30-20 in this one. And yes, that was a face mask that was missed by the refs on Sam Darnold. Yes, it was. I still don't think it would have changed the outcome of the game because there was already down 8 at that moment in time. We got to say Brian Young grabbed the face mask of Sam Darnold in the end zone, thrown to the ground, no flag on the play, so we got the safety. That's how we won by 10. So yes, there was a face mask that was missed. I still don't think it would change the outcome of the game, to be honest. But man, how Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua return was amazing. As you can see, 386 yards for the Rams, 267 for the Vikings. We had 1 turnover, but it didn't really cost us anything. We controlled the ball for over 7 minutes than the Vikings. And remember, look at the second half. We went into halftime tied 14-14. And the second half, the defense rose to the occasion. And we outscored the Vikings in the second half 16-6. That's why I feel like even though we can say there was a face mask that was missed, people think, oh, Minnesota was the king. No. If y'all was watching that Thursday night game, they could not do anything in the second half. Chris Schiller had that defense swarming to the football. Had Sam Darnold looking bad. He could not connect on the people that he usually connect with in the second half. 18 for 25 for Sam Darnold, 240 through the air and 2 touchdowns. Aaron Jones, 19 carries, 58 yards. Justin Jefferson, that dude's the best receiver in football. 8 catches, 115 yards. He did not get in the end zone, though. Matthew Stafford, 25 from 34, 279, 4 TD passes in the air, and the lone turnover, which was an interception. Kerryon Williams, he did not get in the end zone, but he did have 97 yards on 23 carries. And Puka Nacua, the surprising return of Puka Nacua, by the way, 7 catches, 106 yards. I mean, that was an amazing game for us. A much needed game for us at that as well, because now we are 1 game under 500 all of a sudden. We started off 3 games under 500 coming off the bye. We at 1-4. We won 2 straight. Now we are 1 game under 500. And quite clearly enough, the division has not won away from us. I believe at that time the Seahawks was leading the division. I think that was like 6-2 at the time. They wasn't running away with the division. San Fran was getting beat up left and right, and Arizona was still being Arizona. So the division still within grasp. No need to panic. The division is still within range. We still got some things to work on. Okay, but we're right there. We are right there in the midst. Season's not over. Don't need to panic. Now, take a short break here. When we come back, we'll talk about the Seattle Seahawks game and then the Miami Dolphins game.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crown they get, they palm it and do two circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific time zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Into the Net FC.
Kylian Mbappe just all of a sudden finally understood his role, and I think he finally understood that everything Kylian Mbappe has accomplished already, there is still a hell of a lot waiting for him in the future. Kylian Mbappe is only 24 years old. He has accomplished so much, and you know what? Kylian Mbappe has not even reached his prime. Finally seeing, the Marcus Rashford we have been hoping for such a long time, But, this game, after everything Manchester United has been, doing lately, this was actually the ultimate test, to see if Manchester United, honestly was all of a sudden for real.
I explain this. The United States, maybe they have to suffer this loss as a lesson to learn to prepare for the future. Because 4 years from now, the World Cup is in not one, not two, but three countries. The United States of America, Canada, and Mexico. Into the Net FC is available on all streaming platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music.
All right, welcome back to Ramily Talk here as we are doing our season review. Through week 7 through 10, we already went through 7 and 8, getting 2 wins over the Las Vegas Raiders and the surprising win of the Minnesota Vikings on Thursday Night Football. Now we sitting at 3 and 4. Can we get to 500 when we face off against the NFC West leading Seahawks? And yes, surprisingly, we do. 26-20 up in the Pacific Northwest in overtime. Actually, I was wrong. Seahawks was like 4-4 at that moment in time. And Arizona was the one that was in lead in the NFC West. There was a big win, especially on the defensive end, as I should say. We going to halftime down 13-10. We come out, we tied up 10-0 in the third quarter, tied up at 13. Both teams scoring the fourth quarter, and then overtime happened, and we got it done. Now, as you look at it, Seahawks, 424 yards of offense. Rams, 366 yards of offense. Here's the difference. We turned the ball over once. Seattle turned the ball over 3 times. As you can see, time possession was almost even. A little favorable to Seahawks, but almost even. And then Matthew Stafford, 25 44, 298, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. K'On Williams, 22 carries, 69 yards. Cooper Kupp, because Puka Nacua decided to get himself ejected in the second quarter for punching one of the Seahawks players. 11 catches, 104 yards. Geno Smith for the Seahawks, 21 for 34, 363 through the air, 3 touchdowns, and he matched it with 3 interceptions. We're going to talk about one of the interceptions in a minute because one player got 2 of them. Kenneth Walker, the third, 25 carries, 83 yards. So neither one game was on point. Jackson Smith and Jigba, 7 catches, 180 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Here's the thing. 2 of those 3 interceptions by Geno Smith was the coming out party from Cam Kinchens, our rookie draft pick in the 3rd round from the University of Miami. And one of those picks was a 100+ yard return for a touchdown. Now, if I remember correctly, that touchdown was the only time the Rams got the lead in regulation before, we end up getting tied in overtime. Let me go back and look. So if I'm looking at it, we kick start off with a field goal. Seattle responds with a touchdown. They come back and score another touchdown, so they up 13-3. We finally score with DeMarcus Robertson from Matthew Stafford. We get a field goal. We tie the game up going to the fourth quarter. As we begin the fourth quarter at the 11-minute mark, 103-yard interception return by Cameron Kitchens for a touchdown. Rams take a 20-13 lead. Of course, Geno Smith responded with a touchdown pass to Jackson Smith and Jigba. And then you can probably say the catch of the year for the Los Angeles Rams is this right here. Matthew Stafford to DeMarcus Robinson. 39 yards out, one-handed catch in overtime. Touchdown Rams. Game, set, match, Rams. And that's how the Rams won 26-20. Came off the bye week 1-4. You have won 3 straight. You are now 4-4, and things are starting to turn for the Los Angeles Rams. Oh boy, it's going good. We came out the bye week strong. Got to win over the Raiders. Got to win over the Minnesota Vikings in prime time on Thursday Night Football. And then we went to the Pacific Northwest and we beat the Seattle Seahawks in their own building in overtime. So it's looking real good. And we had the Miami Dolphins coming into town on a Monday night. Life should be good. The Dolphins, they are on a 3-game losing streak. Their season is in the balance. The Rams, they are turning everything around. And it's on a Monday Night Football. We don't know what's going to happen here. And then the most frustrating game of the season. I'm going to say that again with me on the single picture. The most frustrating game of the year for me. I don't know about y'all, but this one was the most frustrating game of the year. 23-15, the Dolphins came to LA and they beat the Rams. They snapped the Rams' 3-game winning streak and they snapped their 3-game losing streak. I say it's the most frustrating game for me. Some people might say the Bears, some people might say the Packers, but this one right here is the most frustrating game for me because there's no way in the world we should have lost this game. The way the defense played in this game, the opportunities that was there, there's no way we should have lost this game. But we did. There's no way we should have lost this game. I mean, before I get into the critical numbers here, let me go here. Okay, obviously, Dolphins started off touchdown. It is what it is. We come back. We down 10-0. And here's the problem. This is how we got down 10-0, by the way. Matthew Stafford threw a pick. Tried to go toward Marcus Robinson that was not on the same page as Pete Evans. Defense hold him to a field goal, 10-0. While we are down 10-0, Christian Rosebone gets an interception of Tua Tagovailoa. He returns it all the way to the Dolphins' 14-yard line. We had a penalty on the play, so we go back to the Dolphins' 28-yard line. The very next play, Kerryon Williams from the football. Kerryon Williams from the football. A scoring drive. Complete. Just like that. Just gone. Scoring drive, just gone. Just like that. But we turn around, we get a fumble. Jared Verse, the rookie defensive rookie of the year. I messed that up. Defensive rookie of the year, Jared Verse. Strip sack from Tagovailoa. We get the ball at the Miami 30-yard line. We get a field goal out of it. We get another field goal later. That's how we go in the halftime down 10-6. Come out in the second half, we drive down the field. We get in the field goal range, and we miss the field goal. Afterwards, he made the first one. A penalty was on the play. A false start, and he missed. That's 2 scoring opportunities taken away from us. And then after that, we just traded field goals with the Miami Dolphins. That's how we lose 23-15. That's why it's the most frustrating game for me, because we had 2 chances of scoring. We lost by 8. Those 2 turnovers were more costly than the Dolphins' 2 turnovers. Most frustrating game for me. And it had to be on a Monday night too. So Troy Aikman and Joe Buck on the call. It was just frustrating, man. Frustrating to a point where I actually broke one of my headphones. But after I did the show, that's how frustrated I was. 2 times about a little 20 for 28, 207 through the air, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Matthew Stafford, 32 for 46, 293, interception. Deron Chain, 12 catches, 37 yards. He didn't have to do much. Jalen Moore, 3 catches for 57 yards. He didn't have to do much. Because that's how you know it was frustrating. Miami's known for their run, for their offense. And if you go back, 238 yards of total offense from the Miami Dolphins. You can ask anybody in the league. You can ask anybody who watches football. If the Miami Dolphins don't have 300 yards of total offense, what do? They lose. That's what most people are going to say. Except against us, because we turned the ball over. We turned the ball over in scoring opportunities. And the Dolphins just let the game come to them. They ain't have to force nothing. They ain't have to change nothing. They let us make the mistakes, and they just took whatever that was given, and they won the game. 3-game winning streak snapped to the Miami Dolphins. Came out the bye week good. Very good. Next thing you know, we took a unspeakably L to the Miami Dolphins. But we finished this stretch 3-1. 4-5 on the season through 10 weeks. Season still ain't over. We still have 8 more games to play. Division is still within grasp. But yeah, there was a frustrating loss for the Rams. Very, very frustrating loss. But that's what we said at through 10 weeks. 4-5. Everything's still in front of us. But man, it was difficult to swallow that game. To swallow that game as the loss for us. But that's where we at. So that's what we're going to do it for this episode of Ramily Talk. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for watching. You can catch Ramily Talk on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and whatever else you get your podcasts on. Also, you can also catch the video portion of Ramily Talk on the Playmakers Ball Network YouTube channel. And I will catch y'all next week to go through weeks 11 through 14, which features a game against the Philadelphia Eagles and the Buffalo Bills. How those two games go, and plus the other 2 games we'll talk about. I'll see y'all next week. Thank you for tuning in to Ramily Talk. Ramily Talk is sponsored by Fanatics, Lids, and Paramount Plus. Get your favorite sports appeal with Fanatics or Lids, and get great streaming service with Paramount Plus. If you want to donate to the program, you can donate to us via Cash App, $D Playmakers. That is again, $D Playmakers. And remember, you can follow and subscribe to Ramily Talk on all podcast directories, including Apple, Google, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. And those of you who are on Apple, leave us a great review, leave comments on how you feel about Ramily Talk and the episode that you listen to. Tune in again next time for more Ramily Talk, hosted by the Playmakers.